Hi guys, Drew with Dru Talks. It's been forever since I've made a video. I did want to hop on here. You can tell it's an election year. The ICE stuff is infiltrating little pockets of conversation I'm having just among people in good old Helena, Montana. And so I wanted to share some of my thoughts on it. Everyone who listens to this, who is invested in this situation, the second I start criticizing their team, they're just going to turn this off. And that's unfortunate, but I feel like every single election year, we are propagandized into being super tribal. And I'm not trivializing everything that's happening, but I'm also saying this truly benefits everyone in power to have us at each other. I saw online that the department that funds ICE is the same department that funds all the immigrant programs that are fraudulent. I don't know if that's actually accurate, but knowing the government, probably funded by the same branch of government. Anyway, the ICE situation. I'm going to start with the protesters first. If there truly were SS Nazi guards running around the streets, the protests, you wouldn't be protesting. And I know you wouldn't because I saw the way you all acted during COVID. This doesn't have to do with fighting oppression. You're very comfortable when you're on the side of the oppressor if it's your team or it's something you think should happen. So I have extreme fatigue when it comes to some of these protests because it's been like nothing but protests for 10 years. America's very tired of it. And we're tired of, oh my gosh, it's Hitler, all this stuff, this panic, this, I gotta move out of this country. If there truly were 1940 Nazis outside your door, they wouldn't tolerate a protest. You just get mowed down or they deport you to a camp, something wild like that. Not this little, oh, was it an accidental shot? They would brutally murder you and go after your whole family. I truly believe the people who plan these ICE protests, they want you to die on the street. They want ICE to shoot you because it benefits them. The more people they have die at their protests that they are organizing, the better off for them because it makes the public angry. In regards to the ICE agents, I don't like federal agents kicking down doors. I don't want the feds with guns and masks in the street. I don't think that is healthy at all. When the Boston Marathon bombing happened, they shut down the whole city and they just kind of wiped away the Bill of Rights and they were going door to door. They made a movie about it. It was super uncomfortable because it's like, wait a second, you can't just throw that out the window because you have this problem. I don't trust the feds. I would never engage a federal officer in anything because unlike police who live in your town, these federal agents are not from here, nor do they care about you. And they are all behaving like they're on Call of Duty and you are the enemy. I don't know if they're just poorly trained or if this is just fun for them. But it is very nauseating. And here's my issue with the whole thing. As far as we can tell, millions and millions and millions and millions of immigrants flooded into this country illegally. That is the estimate. How do you get rid of that much illegal immigration? Well, considering it takes like 7 of these armed guys to take one person, you would need millions and millions and millions of ICE agents if this is how you're going to do it. This one-on-one, door-to-door garbage. It's like, this is not going to chip away at the problem. But boy, it sure gets a lot of attention. I truly believe it's theater. I think it's theater. I think that's why they're doing this. I think it's midterm season. And I feel like The left wants people to be assassinated in the streets so they can get their voters out. And the right wants to look like they are enforcing something. Trump is big and tough. You know, the left, they're out here, they're attacking the ICE agents and all this stuff. They're being ridiculous. Do you want the left to win? Do you want the left to win? Do you want the left to win? This is every election year is like this. And everybody's all worked up and they all have an opinion. And I'm not saying the issue doesn't matter. I'm saying you're being manipulated. I don't like being manipulated. I don't like feeling like I have to pick a side of who is right and wrong. Because honestly, sometimes, and this is very hard for Americans to grasp, there isn't a good guy. Maybe it's two terrible groups of people out there, and I don't feel morally like I need to pick a winner. This is two mafias fighting for who's going to control the country, and neither of them is very good. Neither of them cares that my husband, who works his butt off, is getting robbed for a massive part of the year. He basically does slave labor to fund all their stuff. They don't see anything morally wrong with that. And I know they don't, because we can handle deportation in a month if we just pulled the funding. Stop funding people coming in, stop putting out welfare, and honestly, end the war on drugs. I know people are like, oh, that's not even a cool subject anymore. It used to be so hip to say end the war on drugs. But seriously, the drug issue is a morality issue. The welfare issue is honestly a morality issue. We should not be funding these things. And if you pulled the funding, people who wanted to work and wanted to contribute and wanted to be American, they could stay. And everyone else that's coming over here and just living off the backs of men like my husband, they can go home where they love more than here if they're sending money that they get in welfare back to home, which is some of the cases in some of these situations. Also, you want to get rid of some of the criminal activity, take the drug dealers out of business. You take the cartels out of business. They don't want the drugs legalized. They control the entire market. Those solutions are never going to happen because it has to do with the money. They're never, ever going to have a real conversation about why this is such a problem. Like, stop funding this stuff. Nothing that is happening that we are seeing is organic. It is all built on bad government programs. And now people are getting shot in the street. And we're supposed to be like Team ICE or Team Protester. And I'm just a normal American sitting here like, okay, this is not good options for me either way. I don't win. I'm still getting taxed, and I still can't imagine how my children are going to buy a home someday. Trump almost got assassinated when he was running for president, and there's a part of me that truly believes, even though Biden and Kamala were like the worst picks in history, that he might have not won if he hadn't almost been killed. That really amped up his campaign. When Charlie Kirk was assassinated, I think they thought they were going to ride that gravy train of, oh, defeat the left, all the way up through election. But thanks to Candace Owens and a few others, America was like, no, it's not all that black and white. We're not going to be all team red because we're worried about trans people running around shooting everybody. It didn't work. Now we have ICE agents shooting people, and there's the left's grab for power. Stop these Nazis running around the streets killing people. That's what they're going to say. And then, of course, the right is going to come back with, I defend law enforcement, or whatever they're going to say. And meanwhile, all of the politicians are going to vote to keep funding all of this because they actually don't care at all. I know some people are going to say, well, these ICE agents are rounding up sexual predators. And yeah, I'm all for that, especially the ones on the Epstein list. those are the ones I'd like to see rounded up. Trump's entire presidency has been nothing but a disappointment. This is theatrical law enforcement to look good. I don't care about Greenland. I don't want Venezuela. I am sick of being a sugar mama for Israel and Ukraine and all of these other places. Not to say I don't care about people, but if you are elected to run America, you do not have a right to run another country. You weren't elected there. You were elected to run America by the American people. The people of Iran did not vote for you. So mind your own business. It's almost like this is all just a massive distraction to cover up the fact that this presidency is no different than it would be under Biden or Kamala. It's just a giant nothing burger. We don't have the Epstein list. We're still paying $1 gazillion in taxes. We're still funding all these countries. We now, not only did we start a war, we ended a war, the 12-day war, whatever the heck they want to call it. This has been nothing but a disappointment to the people who believed in Trump. I didn't vote for him. I never will vote for him. I didn't vote for Kamala, I'll tell you that. But no, I'm done voting to defeat the other guy, because the other guy is going to be so much worse. This is just like when we put Gianforte in, and he said he was going to get rid of the mask mandate that Bullock had put in. And then he gets in there and is like, oh, I need this and this passed before I actually sign that. And he like held the state hostage. It's like, yeah, you're just a scumbag like the rest of them. Everyone in government. And I really hope this next generation just changes this entire culture. And then the politicians, they really are not strong men. They are just little worms that will follow wherever the current leads. And if the current is virtuous and the current is moral and the current cares about private property rights, then they're going to go that stream. But they're not going to lead the country in the right direction. The youth, the kids are. And hopefully it can change the trajectory. But right now, it's just midterms. And that is my opinion. So it's just going to be a wild ride. And of course, Minnesota is the place where you seem to get a lot of wild rides from. Anyway, like, dislike, comment, share. I'd appreciate if you could share it on Facebook, because I am permanently banned from Facebook because I'm one of the real ones. And yeah, thanks so much, guys. I don't do these very often, but I thought I'd jump on and tell everyone to just not get manipulated by these monsters. Thanks.